Alright, so today we'll be stringing a mid-pocket in the String King Mark II-V, so stay tuned for the tutorial. Alright, so before we begin the tutorial, you are going to need a 9-diamond top string. As you can see I have here, you're going to do that 9-diamond top string on the first hole of the head. So once again, 9-diamond top string on the first hole of the head. Alright, so now we're going to begin the pattern. So we're going to start on the second hole of the head. So I'm going to put my string through the second hole. We're going to go up and through that first available mesh hole. And since this is a loop start, go back through that same sidewall hole and up and through that mesh hole. Just like that. So what you need to do next is skip the next 3 sidewall holes. We're going to down through the top of the next mesh hole, making sure to skip 3 sidewall holes. We're going to go into the plastic, through this loop that we create, up and down so it stays nice and tight, and then from the bottom and up of that same mesh hole. Just like that. So next we're going to skip the next 2 sidewall holes. We're going to go down through the top of the next mesh hole, into the plastic, making sure to skip 2 sidewall holes, through the loop that we create, and then from the bottom and up of that same mesh hole. Just like that. So next what we need to do is skip the next 3 sidewall holes. So we're going to go down to the top of the next mesh hole. We're going to do a KSI, so being sure to skip the next 3 sidewall holes. We're going to go into the plastic, we're going to leave a loop because we're doing a KSI. So as you can see, I'm going to take my string and go from the back and through that loop, pulling it downwards, and to signify that we are creating a KSI, there's going to be a pretzel, as you can see. So from the inside of the head, I'm going to take my string and just pull it to get some of the slack out. And I'm going to set the knot on top of the sidewall rail, and I'm going to take my fingers and pinch the sidewall string to the plastic, and pull my leading end string just straight down. Just like that. You want to take your string and go from the bottom and up of that same mesh hole. Just like that. And as you can see, we have a pretty nice channel so far. So after that KSI, we're going to skip 1 sidewall hole and do an SI. So we're going to go down to the top of the next mesh hole, going into the plastic, making sure to skip 1 sidewall hole, and going through that loop that we create, and up and through. Alright, so now that we are creating the pocket, we're going to skip the next sidewall hole and do a 1 SI. So we're going to go from the bottom and up of the next mesh hole. We're going to take the middle of the mesh, pinch it, and then pull it up towards the scoop, and take your leading end string and pull it straight downwards so the mesh loop anchors to the plastic. We're going to go down to the top of the next mesh hole since we're doing an SI or 1 SI. Just like that, and pull the string once again downwards into the plastic, through the loop that we create, as you can see, from the bottom and up of that same mesh hole. Just like that. And now we're going to skip the next 2 sidewall holes and do another SI. So down to the top of the next mesh hole, skipping 2 sidewall holes, going into the plastic and through the loop that we create, taking the mesh and once again pulling it up towards the scoop, and then down through the loop, and then from the bottom and out of that same mesh hole, as you can see. So now what we're going to do is skip the next sidewall hole, going down to the top of the next mesh hole, we're going to do an SI. So once again, taking the mesh and put it up towards the scoop, skipping one sidewall hole, going into the plastic and out through that loop that we created from the bottom and up of that next mesh hole, or that same one. And now we're going to skip the next two sidewall holes and do another SI. Once again, pulling the mesh up towards the top of the scoop because we're finishing out the pocket. Through that loop, skipping two sidewall holes, or through that sidewall hole, skipping two sidewall holes into the loop that we create. Up and out. Just like that. Alright, so now to finish off the pocket, what we need to do is an interlock. So we're going to skip the next two sidewall holes and just go straight into the plastic. And we're going to leave a small loop here, as you can see. And then from the inside, I'm going to take my string and go from the bottom and up of that next available mesh hole. And then I'm going to take my string and go into that loop, as you can see. And then from this side, I'm going to take the middle of the mesh, once again, pull it up towards the top of the scoop. Pull the string outwards, and then inwards, and then up, and then down nice and tight. To finish off the sidewall, all you need to do is take the string and go from the top and down of that same mesh hole, and then out and through that next sidewall hole. And then it should look like this from the inside. And then to finish off, all you need to do is simply tie a knot. Alright, so after that, you should have a pretty nice looking mid pocket. As you can see, it's going to have a nice channel, so this can be very accurate. Also from the front, you can see the channel as well. So that's it for the Mark IIb tutorial. If you found this video helpful or enjoyed it, be sure to like the video, subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.